Welcome once again. Live Trading Journal. danDier Investments. So we're on our 60-minute time frame, knocking in these supply and demand levels. We can see that this green one is a previous supply level, but changes to demand level because we saw that price is bouncing off of that. So now our thesis, we're trying to analyze exactly what's going on. We're in between a range, so we can do one or two things. So our first trading idea for today, our thesis one for today, is that we're going to continue to trail down just slightly back to this 65 EMA and return back up or continue up to this supply level. Second idea is that price is not going to do anything. It's just going to keep moving above that 65 EMA, returning to this supply level, then making a return back slightly downward. Now we have our two ideas for today, and let's key in to figure out exactly what's going on. So trading idea one was that we were going to return slightly below the 65 EMA. So now we're trying to identify some key levels that it could potentially return to. And we identified our most recent support level. Now we're down to our 1 minute, trying to key in a little more. We're scalpers trading on shorter time frames. We see another support level here. So now we see price moving down slightly. So we just want to be able to analyze exactly where this price will return if it was to bounce back to the 65 EMA. Now we have our levels for our thesis one. Now we're ready to trade today. So you also have this trend line here. You just want to see if this is of any significance to us. Got that opening bell, price moving up above this trend line. Want to see exactly what happens. Does it pay respect to it? Does it bounce down and stay in line with our thesis one and return to one of these previous levels? Or does it just blow through it and taking us out of our thesis one and into our thesis two? So you see price trending up slightly. In essence, just blew through that trend line. This shows that this trend line isn't of any significance. Now I want to see what price does in respect to some of these previous resistance levels. Blew through the middle one to the left. Now seeing if it pays respect to this high on the open. Price still trending up. We got big bullish movement in the market right now. Now we're getting some bears in the market, and what we want to do is see if this is a fake out, if this is a false breakthrough. We're still in thesis two, so we're still under the assumption that price will return to this supply level up here, this R1. So now what I'm looking at, see some bears still coming in. What I think is going to happen is this is actually a bull flag. There's a slight pullback, but still staying in line with our thesis two. Price moving up. So we saw a doji there. So now I'm thinking, let's get into a buy position, try to ride the market up until it gets to this supply level. And what is so crazy is I try to place my limit order. Once I get closer, price immediately just shot up. So there's two lessons that we can learn from this. The first is that in NQ futures, price moves very rapidly, or the volatility is very high. So when you identify your edge, you can't be hesitant. You just got to know that the law of large numbers, percentages will work in your favor. The second is that you can't be involved in your emotions. Even though we missed this move, the market will continue to give us moves. So yes, this move was missed. We have to continue to analyze, pick our spots, and don't be hesitant on the next opportunity that presents itself. So I had to do away with that buy order. But we're still working with inside of thesis two, which is that price will get to the supply level as it currently is in now, and we're looking for a reversal off of this level. Still going to speed the video up a little bit. We see that we're in the supply level now. So now what I'm looking for is a candlestick pattern turn that's telling me that there's going to be a turnaround in the market. So you see that price is currently just blowing through the supply zone. Kind of got too anxious because I saw a bearish candle, and it came to kind of bite me in the ass, if you will. One thing that I say in my trading creed in the morning, that I am willing to accept the risk or scale back. So I was willing to move my stop back slightly to give me a little bit more breathing room. But I was just in a bad position in the middle of the supply zone.
Order submitted.
But I'm still confident in my thesis. Looking for price to return down after hitting the top of this supply level.
Order filled.
So I got filled here. Looking for price to do a reversal. If not, that's perfectly fine. My thesis just is wrong. It's okay being wrong when you're trading these markets. Identify your edge. Analyze the market. And to see if your edge was correct. If not, move on to the next trade. Move on to the next day. Perfectly fine. So you see that price is moving down. We got that bearish movement that I was looking for at the top of this supply zone. So we can say that we're in profit. Move my target back. I know for, or very confident that we'll get to this R1 level pivot point there off of this bounce. But I was hopeful that we would get a little bit more pullback, given that we had such bullish movement in the market early in the morning. Hoping that we can get half of this move back. But that turned out not to be the case. So we can see that my stop losses are moving into profit. Currently $3,000 up, but don't want to leave all of that on the table just in case things don't go in my direction. So now we're approaching this R1 level that I knew that we would hit. So now one or two things are going to happen. So move my stop losses back slightly. We're either going to bounce off of this R1 level or blow straight through it and end up in no man's land. And that's where all the money is, near my targets. So I just want to see what happens, allow it to play out. All my stop losses are in profit. See that we got stopped out there. But that was just some bullish movement looking for stops. The big players looking to get the little fish. We can see that I'm only down 625 for the day. That's good. When I have big wins, small losses, we see that price actually went down to my targets. So that's just kind of being in such a big market with such big players looking for small fish such as myself. So once again, only lost 625 today. But remember the goal: big wins, small losses. It's all it's gonna work out for you. Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for more danDier Investments live NQ trading.